And welcome to the next match where we have Templis on the blue team and we've got Wang on the red team.
Alright, Wang has decided to walk in a number of ranges. Looks like all of their DPS battle cruisers have come in with their rapier at 0 rapier, obviously going to be webbing tackle. I'm not sure why he needs to be that close to the enemy fleet. I would assume that he is going to get alphaed off the field, possibly with Templis, CALSF all warping in at 20 kilometers. Shield fleet, but with only 6 members, so this is going to be interesting to see if the 6-member, only 6 out of 7 of the pilots, they do have a full team in terms of points, but we'll see what happens there.
The match is under the way, but the main thing for me is obviously on the Wang we've got Blackbird and Griffin, so E-War component there straight again, and we're going to see whether or not
from Wang. So
well, they're trying to use it. We don't know if it's hitting, and that Blackbird is being hit.
The control bar is pushed right out, so that Blackbird plus the webs on the stalk from the rapier looks like they've gone straight. Templis CALSF have gone straight for the Blackbird of the Wang team. Wang destroying that stalk. The stalk is dead, completely gone. They're going to change over to the Tengu now. That may be an RR Tengu. He is currently wrecking through the damages, receiving the Griffin down. For Wang now they're working on the Blackbird there. Blackbird's still holding in armor. Obviously with the Guardian there, looks like the Blackbird may actually decide this fight again. Tengu's still taking damage. Looking to see if he's actually receiving reps. He is getting remote sensor boosted. The Blackbird's still holding in armor there quite comfortably. There are jams on the field. I'm not sure where they're coming from. The jams are on the Rapier and the Blackbird. So let's have a look and see if I can find that while you do your talking then. If you want, otherwise I'll just keep on talking.
Oh, I don't know. You were on such a roll there. I thought I'd just let you get on with it there, Shivy.
Yeah.
You know, I think you've covered most of the bases at the moment.
Sorry, my bad. Okay, it looks like that Nate's Atoll and the Guardian now taking damage. Not a bad choice for the Templis CALSF team.
Well, it has to be a case of, as so often the case is, when you kind of end up in this particular situation, it's a case of, do you put pressure onto the Guardian, because obviously it's got its self-rep, so it's going to probably have boosters in place. If it runs out of charges, then it means that you can plow through it, and then you can actually start to take apart the rest of the team. Otherwise, you're just going to need to rely on that DPS to actually just push through and overcome the reps of that Guardian. So I think it's really good to kind of call at the moment from Templis to just keep working, keeping the pressure on that Guardian, and maybe even forcing it away a little bit there.
It looks like both teams have decided to primary the logistics ships. Obviously, the Guardian and the Tengu. I believe that Tengu is a logistics Tengu. Yeah, he doesn't have any guns or anything on his ship. So, but it'll be interesting to see if the Tengu is, if he's ASB fit, he's going to be screwed. And what'll be interesting is it'll be interesting to see if the Wang team swap from the Tengu and try and kill the Blackbird before the Tengu has a chance to wrap it. But I think that we're just going to see for the next 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Shooting logistics ships online.
Yeah, and possibly, but there again, with the Tengu being self-reps, that's absolutely fine. But if that Blackbird gets jams off on that Tengu and stops it from being able to rep anything else, then obviously that does put the Templis team at real kind of danger. So all the time that we're seeing that Blackbird there, there's definitely a kind of a risk of things going completely sideways for Templis.
I was going to say, Benizzle just pointed that out. But that Tengu now dropping in. No, he was close to armor. That may have been through an ASB cycle, or we're still seeing jams on both sides. It is also possible that the Tengu is a jam goo. I'm not 100% sure what the subsystem looks like, but it may actually be a jam goo, where those jams are coming from, which would actually which would actually tell us, because we are seeing jams on the other team. So I'm thinking that might actually be a jam go.
Well, we're
I
seeing the
see him
effects.
providing remote reps now, actually. So
There again, it could be off of drones as well. So I don't think that we can necessarily dispel like the EC300s, for instance. And I do see a couple of those out and about.
I'm seeing that Blackbird is probably jammed now, as he's not actually jamming anything on the Templis CALSF team. If this match goes the distance, Wang may actually win the match with these 6 points, but we'll see. The Tengu is fully repped up now. He's just taking damage and repping it straight back. The Guardian into what looks to be about 70% armor, but he continues to rep it up. So this match getting boring very quickly. But
I don't know.
It's a very technical match as well.
Because it's like, as far as I'm concerned, if hopefully Skeptic can actually just like focus in on that Blackbird. There are a ton of drones around it at the moment. You've got rep drones on it. You've also got like the EC like 300s that are trying to jam it out. They don't necessarily have a great chance to like jam. I think it's only about like 2%. But when they do strike home, it's going to be really.
But it's still 5 drones with the random number generator, right? The Guardian for the Wang team going into lower armor now. He's at about 40%, I think. Oh no, 30%, 28%.
Yeah. So I mean, still being like kind of like chipped away there. And there again with Templis, if they actually take down the Guardian of Wang, then that can really just like kind of change things, because it suddenly means that Blackbird, what's he going to do? He can't do anything. So they can
definitely. And I'm looking at, what's this Guardian moving? He's moving at 690, 670, so he's going to be after benefit. Too bad actually I'm not even seeing any webs from the Templis CALSF team. But the Navy Osprey for the Templis CALSF team now is target painted, webbed, jammed, and receiving reps. So maybe these guys have switched from the Tengu and decided to just try and hit the Navy Osprey. He's taking some damage now, but the Guardian for Wang is going into structure. He's almost down. He's dead.
Gone.
So that's Wang, a massive loss for Wang, 15 points. No more Logi on the field. Let's see if the Templis CALSF team can actually take. I think that they can do it now. They'll just be able to burn through.
Well, this really changes it for them now.
Right?
Is like it was all down to like how long that Guardian could stay up and whether or not the Templis team could actually poke through
Blackbird
it.
Going down now.
That's it, because it's the annoying thing. Yeah, I mean like it's the thing out there that can like upset the rest of the composition. They get rid of the Blackbird, it means that they can apply the rest of the damage that they've got available to them a lot easier.
Yeah, it was, but it was really the Blackbird that was probably keeping that Guardian alive for so long as well, just jamming out the DPS chips. The Rapier for the Wang team now going into armor, he'll probably die pretty quickly. I thought I saw like some armor reps on him.
Well, I don't know. It's sort of like these looking to use a bit of only there. Mr. Ben, what an excellent program that was as well, let me tell you. I think they only ever did 6 episodes of it. If you don't know, you should really look it up.
Oh, I thought when you said program, you meant like a computer application, not a TV show.
No TV show. Anyway, Rapier, still like taking damage out. It's definitely going for it, but I don't think it's going to be able to last.
Trying to get it. There he goes.
Now, generally, the thing to remember is that when you've actually got T3 cruiser logistics, they're generally not particularly mobile, and the reps don't go out a particularly long way. So that means that the Templis team are always going to have to be very conscious about where they are in relation to that Tengu, and we can now see them working on that Fleet Hurricane.
Yeah, if you look at the Cerberus though, the Cerberus and the Osprey Naviush, I think the Osprey Naviush gets a bonus to maximum missile velocity, which means that the missiles go 50% further. So they probably do have a relatively good range. That Hurricane Fleet issue for Wang almost down to destruction now. He is going to die very quickly. Then we're looking at the next target for them. They're not going to be able to take out anything else before the end of this match. Minute left. That was a good match. Seeing that Guardian die, just waiting to see it die. Could have gone either way. But just that Tengu's tank was too good for the Wang Gang team, I think.
Yeah,
And a
absolutely.
convincing win at the end for Templis CALSF.
Absolutely, and I mean, obviously, with a kind of like a wrapping Tengu, somewhat reminiscent of the final match for Reavers in the first Anchor Games, but these guys didn't actually go into reverse tie-dye this time round. It looks like the deal was definitely done before we've actually run out of time.
I'm not sure what the Wang Gang team could have done differently there.
I think that they actually had a relatively good game. Realistically, probably that stalk, could have even been saved like initially. Otherwise, the only option that they really had to do was to just basically just try and outsmart that Tengu by switching target calls.
I can see that the one thing that I do see is kind of the pods sitting around the field. It seems like Wang Gang were more sort of spread out